The first light of dawn painted the village sky in shades of orange and gold. Birds chirped cheerfully on the rooftops, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of wet soil after the night's rain. It was a beautiful morning, one that promised a new beginning. In a small clay house near the edge of the fields lived Ayun, a 12-year-old boy with messy hair, sleepy eyes, and a heart full of dreams, but also a habit of laziness. Every morning, his mother had to shout at least 10 times to wake him up for school. "Ayun, the sun is already up," she called from the kitchen, stirring a pot of tea. "5 more minutes, Sammy," Ayun groaned, pulling the blanket over his head. 5 more minutes became half an hour yesterday, she replied firmly. "Do you want to be late again?" But Ayun didn't move. He believed mornings were made for sleeping, not studying. His school bag sat untouched in the corner, his books collecting dust. That morning, as Ayun dozed off again, his father, Rashid, quietly entered the room. He was a farmer, tall and strong, with weathered hands and gentle eyes. He looked at his son and sighed. He didn't shout. Instead, he walked over, lifted the blanket, and said softly, "All right, Ayun. If you don't want to go to school, come with me to the fields." Ayun blinked in surprise. "To the fields? At this hour?" "Yes," his father replied with a calm smile. "You'll see how the real world works in the morning." Curious and slightly guilty, Ayun followed his father out of the house. The air outside was cool and fresh. The fields glistened with dew, and the rising sun painted everything golden. They walked in silence until they reached the edge of the farm. Rashid handed his son a small sickle and said, "Help me cut these weeds before the sun gets too hot." Ayun frowned. "But Abba, I'm tired. I haven't even had breakfast." His father chuckled. "Neither have I. But the crops won't wait. The world moves whether we're ready or not." Reluctantly, Ayun began cutting the tall weeds. Within minutes, his hands ached, his back hurt, and sweat trickled down his forehead. He looked at his father, who was working twice as fast and still humming softly. "How do you do this every day?" Ayun asked breathlessly. His father smiled. "Because every morning teaches me something." Ayun looked puzzled. What kind of lesson can morning teach? Rashid paused for a moment, leaning on his sickle. The sunlight caught his face, showing years of hard work and peace. "Morning," he said, "is the time when the world is honest. You see who works hard, who wakes up to chase dreams, and who sleeps through their chances. The morning rewards those who rise early, with energy, peace, and purpose." Ayun listened quietly, his heart sinking a little. He realized that while his father worked before sunrise every day, he wasted his mornings in sleep. After 2 hours of work, Ayun's hands were sore, and his stomach growled. His father finally said, "Let's go home." When they reached, his mother smiled and served them breakfast, hot parathas and tea. Ayun devoured the food, feeling hungrier than ever before. As he ate, his father sat beside him and said gently, "Son, remember this. You can sleep through a sunrise, but you can never get it back." Those words struck deep in Ayun's heart. From the next day onward, something changed. He began waking up early, washing his face with cold water, and sitting by the window to study as the sun rose. He realized how quiet and peaceful mornings were, how thoughts flowed easily, and how learning felt lighter. He began helping his father on weekends too, working in the fields before school. Slowly, Ayun became one of the brightest students in his class. His teachers noticed. His friends admired his change. And his parents, well, they couldn't stop smiling. Years passed. Ayun grew into a hard-working young man who never missed a sunrise. He carried his father's words with him wherever he went. The morning is life's first lesson. It teaches you that effort before comfort leads to success before regret. One day, when Ayun stood at the edge of those same fields, watching the dawn light spread across the sky, he whispered to himself, "Now I understand, Abba. Every sunrise was trying to teach me. I just wasn't awake to learn. Sunrise.